All right, welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another DesignOps meetup. I had to keep that tune playing. It was too good. Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight. We're a really exciting speaker. And yeah, welcome. Thanks for coming. So welcome to DesignOps Melbourne. My name's Chan. I'm a designer. Our co-organizers are Mel and Jolly, both also designers. I believe they're on the chat as well. They might join us later. So welcome. So we started this DesignOps meetup basically to expand the community of designers and developers. There was a lot of sort of design-only communities out there, and we wanted to connect the two disciplines, given that that's sort of how we work. So yeah, we're really excited tonight to talk about sort of a no-code revolution as well. So it'll be really interesting to see. For those of you who this is the first time to a Crowdcast online meetup, obviously a bunch of you can tell. You can say hello in the chat window there. You can also pose a question. So throughout the talk, you can use the Ask a Question feature. And then at the end, we'll do some Q&A, and we can invite you up on screen, and you can ask any questions. So it's a nice way to engage as well. Beauty. I might actually invite our first person up on stage, Bart from Red Wolf and Roche. Let me just invite Bart up now. So Bart's our #1 sponsor. He helps power this event, and when we can actually hold live in-person events, when we're not bound down to our homes, Bart is so kind to provide us with delicious pizza.
Hey.
Hey, Bart, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm well. Thank you. I'm excited to be a part of this meetup once again. Yeah. So we love being part of this community. I think this is a really exciting meetup, and really great people that are always joining. Red Wolf and Roche, for those that don't know, we specialize in like niche recruitment for design and technology. So we're based around Australia, primarily in Melbourne, Adelaide, and Brisbane. So yeah, we just love supporting the community, and I always like learning things on the side, especially this talk, which I'm really looking forward to, because I can't code, and I've always wanted to make an app. So I'm really looking forward to this one. If you guys have any questions or want to reach out, I know that these are pretty tough times, especially like all around the world. If you're struggling for work, or you just want to have a chat about what options you have, I'm on the chat, and you can grab my details from Chan as well. But otherwise, I'll just sit back and let the experts take over.
Awesome. Thanks, Bart.
Thank you.
Beauty. All right, let's jump straight into it. I'm really excited tonight to introduce our speaker, Marta, coming all the way from Barcelona. I'm sure it's a lot more sunnier there at the moment than in the freezing cold Melbourne. Tonight, Marta's going to be talking about Bravo. It's no-code software. There's a bit of a movement at the moment, a bit of a no-code revolution going on. When I first came across this, I was like, is this real? I don't get it. So I wanted to reach out to Marta and Bravo and the team and really see how this works. So yeah, super excited. And yeah, without further ado, I'll invite Marta up onto the stage now to share her story with us. All right, just inviting Marta up now.
Hello.
Hello, hey, welcome.
you. Hello. I was like, I didn't try the pizzas, but I would definitely want to try these pizzas.
So I guess it's pretty warm and sunny in Barcelona right now.
Yes, today at the beginning was like a bit cloudy, but now it's sunny again. So we are lucky to be in Barcelona. Pretty good weather here. So yeah.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, I'll let you take it away and share your screen and take it away with your presentation.
Yeah, so let me share my screen a bit. Okay, everything okay? You see, guys? Yeah. Okay. Yep. So yes, I'm Marta Serrano from Barcelona, like you mentioned, Chan, and I'm head of product in Bravo Studio, and basically, so I studied graphic design and illustration, and then suddenly I decided to go to San Francisco, where I lived during 3 years, more or less, and then suddenly there I start like seeing that everyone was something called UX UI or something in a startup. So everyone was in this field. So then I was like, okay, let's start checking about the digital products. And so basically, yes, it's been like when I moved back to Barcelona, 10 years that I have been like being freelance, doing mobile apps, websites, any kind of digital product. Definitely, then is where we saw that definitely was like a need for something that designers could be longer in a project, because as a freelance, I was like something like 5 days during a project, and then you give everything to developers, like they are like 6 or more, longer time. But then at the end, everything that they deliver is not what you wanted. So this kind of battle between designers and developers. So definitely, this is why we wanted to create Bravo Studio. So here. So Bravo Studio, we came like to give, it's a no-code tool, basically, that now the no-code is like super trendy. But we want to focus on more like design first. This is why we use kind of the editor is Figma. So it's like a design tool that we don't have to develop again all the design tool fixtures. So they are already using the features that they have on the design tool. And this is why the designers, they are used to use it. And it's cool that then you can transform that and convert it to a native app for iOS and Android. This is what we are aiming for, and trying to empower a bit the designers to be able to deliver a product from A to Z and help them. So basically, so this is why I like Bravo. So what I'm going to show you today is from a Figma design. I'm going to import into Bravo. So just adding some tags, because obviously like the design from Figma is a prototype, and you can see that you can be like doing things, but you need to add some specific, what we call Bravo tags, to be able to enhance and give more functionality to the apps. And based after that, you can connect to external APIs. That is when you bring more like the value on the content. So also like you can give to the clients like a CMS that could be Airtable, Webflow, WordPress, anything. You connect it into the app, and then they don't mess around with the design, and the content is populated in the app. So this is like the good way to do like the no-code tools, because right now it's on the market. You can do like a lot of things. So it's good that you investigate like several things, like could be like Zapier, that you can automate different systems. You can connect to Typeform to allow them to fulfill and add more content into the Airtable, or like, well, more than a lot of things that you can do on the no-code industry. So I'm going to start with the Figma design. Okay, I took the privilege to take one of the Loom Croissanterie. I don't know if anyone knows. It's from Melbourne, like a bakery, something like look kind of fancy and pretty much like a famous one. So I create like some screen designs in Figma. And I'm going to show you how to connect these things, because you can see that the design is not complete as a demo. So for example, here you have a list that you have just one item, because the idea is that I'm going to connect to an Airtable and will populate all this list. Or for example, here some rectangles that you don't have any content, but because I'm going to add a video or a web view, that is something that Figma doesn't have. So it's where we are going to start creating native components into the app. So yeah, so basically, one important thing is that in Bravo, so we need to convert somehow the native app from the Figma file. So we have it's super important that we have 3 levels. One is the page, that it's going to be the first frame, that it's wrapping all the information. And then we add a container, what we call, and it's like a wrapper where it's going to be all the information inside. If any of you have designed a website, you have sections, and then for example, the top menu, the hero header, some specific areas. So this will be floating and be some containers move one after each other. So let me show how right now. So here, for example, we have the menu. Okay, and first I'm going to check on the Bravo tag master list. So here we have all the functionalities that we can add. So different menus. For example, here I have the container that I'm going to add, videos, Lotus, GIF, etc. We have more functionality here. So let me copy this tag. But first, on the menu, like I was mentioned, you see on the left side on the Figma file, you have the first frame, it's the page, and then all the content here inside. So the only thing that we need to do is take the frame tool, add a frame, and this will go inside a container that we can paste here, the tag. So the tags is a way that we can render and recognize a native component. So this is the menu page. You can see that sometimes some prototype that you create in Figma, you add in each page, for example, the tab menu or something like that. We don't need to do that on Bravo, because we just need one menu that is going to be the main master of the app, and then it's going to be navigating through all the app via the prototype links that you add on the Figma as well. So here you are going to continue all the navigation from the app. Then on this page, what I have to do as well is to add a tag to know something specific. So in this case, I would like to add the modal menu that is going to pop up when I click the menu button. So on the page, I will have to add a tag. We are going to be naming all the time the tags on the left side. It's super important that name it nicely, because then you can recognize faster when you are importing in Bravo. And this is the way that all the tags are here explained, where to put it, why they do, what they do, and everything. So it's interesting to navigate through the tags, because it's what is going to bring us the functionality. Okay, so to create another container, just to show you the importance of the container. So let's move on the home page, that I would like to create a top header when it's going to be the top bestseller product. And then here inside, down, it's going to be a list that is going to populate with the content from Airtable, but later I'm going to show you how. So here, right now, I have the elements that are in the same level of the page. So I'm going to add a container here. And I'm going to name it container with the tag container. Okay, so this is why it's super important that all the containers are touching each other, because like I mentioned before, they are floating between them, and they are going to be populating this way. So the list is going to be an array generated when you are connecting into an Airtable. If you want to do 2 columns, for example, the only thing that you need to do is put it like a 50% of the page. But then all the content should be here down, just to show. And then obviously this will be like populated on the right. So then we are going to create a list with 2 columns. Could be 2, could be 3, but always has to be the width of the screen, because it's going to be like, again, like a flexo box, the same idea of a website. So let me delete that. And I will recognize here better because this will be like a list that later we need to connect into an array to generate this information. And the important thing as well here is like I need to add it and connect it into the detail page, because then, and the detail page will be back, because then I'm going to create with the Airtable that this, when you select this item, the information on the detail page will change depending on the item that you select. So you want to see, obviously, the information different every time you click an element. OK, so now let's create this element here that is like a gray box into a video. So you can draw like any type of element, like a square, or you can add an image. And then let me copy here that I did have a link shortcut. The video has to be hosted somewhere. So in this case, I'm using Airtable as a hosting. And on the left side, again, we need to add a tag that is going to be like component, video. Let me make this bigger to show that. And we paste already the URL. OK, now here we don't see anything. Again, it's Figma. But in Bravo, when we import, we will see the video. For the same thing, here on this page, I'm going to add like a type form, so that I have here prepared like some type form that it's more like for ordering, just to allow them to have like some information. So we have here the question about your number. It's going to be here all the products with the pricing. And this is the good thing of the no-code tools, that you can do whatever you want. So you have to just have imagination. So in this case, in Typeform, I'm going to use it more like a e-commerce. So you select the item. You can select how many you want, the entire store maybe. Then where it's shipped. And definitely, so here you have the payment solution already done. So you can do a lot of things. This is why. So, and also, just to show, you can connect to other systems, like Airtable, connected to some, wait, now it's going to load, to Google Sheet, just to fill all the information. Imagine that you want to check all the orders and have it in one place, just to follow up better. You want to check all the emails that are like filling in a newsletter. So you can do a lot of things. So we just need the URL just to paste it as a web view component. Like the same way that we create the video. Oops. So here in this rectangle, I'm going to add a component.web/view, and then you paste the URL directly. And again, Bravo is going to render and it's going to display the type form inside this box. So this is the good part. OK, and something that we launched so soon, well, yesterday, was that also like Figma has already like some links that you can add into the text. So it's a super cool feature that they add recently. And it's something that we can also recognize that just in a way that instead of adding an action or something specific into a text, you directly, I have here, for example, I'm going to add it in the contact list, that you select the text and it's going to open Google Maps just to get directions or something specific. I just copy literally the URL, and then in the text of the address, for example, here on the top, we have the hyperlinks from Figma, and you just need to paste the link. Obviously, so this, when you click on the app, it's going to be open and go to the maps. All right. So the last thing of the tags that I wanted to show, but I mean, definitely I invite you to check all the Bravo list that we have, that you have a lot of functionality, and be creative, like some actions, even like some refreshment, just in case when you connect to an API, intro pages, well, several things that you can add. So I'm going to create a page that is going to be our custom loading when you are like reading from the API. For example, because when you connect to the API, it's all the time like calling the content, and you have like a little spinner loading time, and then we can customize this part as well. So here I started the page, but what I wanted to add is a lottie. I don't know if all of you are familiar with the lotties, but are super cool. So it's like little animations that you can add. And again, Bravo Studio can recognize that. And even like, I'm going to use the plugin that they have on Figma file, on Figma, that it's, I have a lot of plugins. Lottie, where when you search for a Lottie specific, then they already add the tag for you. Because we have a partnership with them, and I mean, they are an amazing team doing like amazing things. So what I'm going to add is like just to have a little Lottie animation. So let's do loading. And I have to look for obviously something like is dark in this case. Here, I can select this one. And when I select the file and I convert it, add to Figma, and all right, here we have the element, and you see, on the left side, that we have already the component Lottie and the URL of the component. You don't have to add a tag. Here is automatically. So this is the nice things that we are trying to push just to help people to create even faster the mobile applications. So I'm going to add this one a bit smaller, just into the center. And when it's loading, we are going to be on the moon in this case. All right. So this is, again, interesting to be like checking all the tags, features that we have, and be adding and be thinking about how we create like the structure, the page, the container, and then the elements inside that you can be adding some features into it, or depending on the level you are. So the last thing I will like to more mention on, it's going to be like connecting to an API. But this is the cool thing, that you don't have to be designing all the list items and all the detail pages. You just need to have one. You can also like share with your teams like an API or some database. That in this case, I have an Airtable. Again, Airtable rocks. And you can share this, and you can be testing several apps with the data, and you don't have to be filling all the time. And the other option is that you can give this one into the client, and they can manage the content. This is the cool part. You don't have to be managing the content. They can, edit all the content, some typos, some pricing, and it's the cool thing. So to continue that, well, the first thing, let's import it into Bravo. So the only thing that you have to do to import to Bravo, let's select the main URL of the Figma file. Let's go to Bravo and import URL. So right now we are like rendering and taking all these tags and make it like native components. So we are generating an app already. So let me show you. On here on the left side, you could see this screen. This screen is my mobile. I'm showing you directly my mobile. That is the app that we just imported. Let me open the first one. So we have an intro that, again, I add this video the same way as the other one, like with the tag. You enter. You see that here there is just one item, the same as the design. You click on the item, you go to the detail page, you can open the menu, you go to the order. Now we have the type form that I mentioned, well, MSG, and all the questions will be there. We go to deliveries. We have the video that we paste on the top. That is just for decoration and just to enhance a bit, the mobile application. And the contact that, again, here I pasted like a little web view as well, just to have this 3D view. And on the text, you click, and you open the web view of the maps. It's pretty cool. I mean, I just did like several things. Obviously, I'm sure that all of you have some designs already created. The only thing is that you need to Bravorize them just to make sure that the structure is cool, and then just add some tags when you want to really give some functionality. So the last part I wanted to show is this list that I'm going to connect to this database. So based on that, we are going to connect to the API. This is about more like knowing a bit more about APIs, but we are doing like super easy in this case. So we are trying to make this designer life a bit easier every time. Here. So I'm going to create what we call data collection. Here is when we are like, I have a demo already. We are going to start doing the connection from the Airtable and linking to some elements that we have from Figma, just to compare them and know that the first is going to be the title of the product, the description, and then the pricing. So by following this wizard, so we are like being asked for several things. For example, here is going to be like the share link from the Airtable. We just go to share. And we just copy the link that has been given for us. And we paste it here. We continue. And it's going to be asking for the APK. Now, don't look. It's a secret. And we paste it here. And it's going to be making all the connections for us. Done. So you notice that we have like two different requests in this case. Request is just the call into the API. So we auto-generate the list and the detail page because we would like to have the list populated. And then when you click, you select the item and will change depending on when you select. So we have the collection ready. Let's go to project again. And I'm going to now start binding and making the connections between the content from the Figma into the API. So I look for the page that I want to map. So it's going to be the list in this case. And then I just have to be like following the steps. In this case, OK, let's go to the collection. Was the Loon Chrysanthemum, the request. I want the list. And here then we have, yeah, it's going to be all the time automatic updating the app. Then I have to select the list container that we create. And we have like a panel on the side that it's going to start like binding. So in this case, we are going to add 2 records because it's all the records from the Airtable to generate all. So records, then we select the image. We look for the image, that is the URL, the pricing, oops, was in the top, pricing, the product name, And this is like element by element all the time, just to bring information into that. So, okay, we have the product image, we have the price, the name, and the description. So let's go what we have done. Oops. Wait for it. Okay, the direct. Some error has happened. Let me do it again quickly, just to allow you to really display. Okay. Sorry, did not work now. I don't know why. Let's review the Figma file just to make sure we have everything. All right, now you could see it was like probably some loading. Sorry about that, guys. So now here we see the app that it's with all the items from their table. So the carrot cake and all the information. So we have it populated right away. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna do, hopefully that works. Sorry about that, I don't know why. I'm gonna connect the detail page as well. When I'm gonna click the pain chocolat, now you see the carrot cake or the coconut. So it's all the time the same page. So let's make it that it's gonna change depending on what you select. So let's select again the collection, let's select the detail page, and here we have, again, all the content from Figma with the containers. On the header side, I would like to connect the image into the image product URL, the pricing, the product description, and product name, and then on the description, the product description. All right. Now, let's see, when you click into ham and Gruyere. All right, today doesn't want to work. Let's update everything just in case. So on ham and Gruyere, we have ham and Gruyere now, finally. Pain chocolat, we have pain chocolat. And carrot cake, we have carrot cake. Perfect. So, so basically, I mean, what I went through was obviously coming from the Figma file, that I have to be adding some tags specifically, like just to give some functionality. Then we connect it to an API, and that's it. And then we have an app that it's pretty much kind of functional. So we can show this obviously into a client, or just publish to the stores once you are finished. You just have to go to publish, download, in this case, for example, in Android, you can get the APK for just checking on your device, or you can have the published version, and the same for iOS. You can have, well, iOS, you need the file just to put it on TestFly or directly to the stores. So this is the thing, that it's already an app, so you can just publish once you are done. So pretty much it. So now if you have, well, I'm gonna close this one, just one moment. That thanks all for being here. Sorry again for the the errors that we had. It's what happened, live demos. And definitely, like, please follow us on Twitter just to know more things. And we have right now like a special offer that if you sign up to Ole plan, we are going to give you a free update. And I can share with you a link where you can upgrade from that, and we can recognize because you see us on the meetup. It's not this one, sorry. Today my computer is a bit off. All right.
Nice. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you. Well done. That's so cool. I think everyone is like just like, what's going on? This is crazy. Super impressive. Actually, just one thing before we close that screen. I don't know if I missed it. On the list view, could you actually search as well? Is that?
Yes.
Is that doable?
Sorry, do it again.
I know that there's a lot of designers that could potentially use this purely for prototype and user testing, and one of the number one things is like text input. Does the text input work?
Exactly. So we also just launched. I mean, right now I show the Typeform, but obviously we have also like a custom forms, sorry, that you can create with the input text. So in this case, yes, if I again put like ham, it's going to just put and bring the ham element into the top.
Wow.
So you can definitely search again how this is done. So it's by using tags. So you have a content like with the text input, and here we have a tag component input text with an action that will be filtering into the list. So all this is documented pretty well, how to do these functionalities. And now we just launched the forms by doing, right now I just show the get communication with the API, but definitely you can also do the post and start creating with a custom form some data into the Airtable. So this is the cool thing. We are like adding more features and features all the time. And definitely for, like you mentioned, like for testing, better test an idea or go fast to market, just to prove concept, I think is great.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really cool. And you could gather sort of user data with the form and capture things like checkboxes or select input and then their name and everything like that in text fields.
Well, in this case, right now we are starting with the input text, but we are going to be adding more and more input text into the form. Like you mentioned, checkboxes with some logic into true, false, or something like that, just to activate and know the state of something. So slowly we are like piling and adding more features into it.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that demo with us. It went very smoothly for a live demo. I think that was that was excellent. I don't know if anyone has any questions. We can probably close this one for now. We did have one question. I'm not sure if from Andy. I'm not sure if they want to ask the question themselves. Let me just check. No, looks like I think there was a question from Andy. How do you export to the Apple Store for people to download? I think you sort of covered a bit of that at the end. But do you want to a little bit more?
I can share the screen again, or I mean, until when you are like done. So from Bravo. So let me share again. So this is the app screens. So, okay, on the app screens inside the app, you have a tab that it's called Publish. So there you have all the guides that you need, how to get the key store numbers or some specific content that we need just to certify, for example, or some specific information that you easily can get, like just with some help. And we are trying to improve and be like make this process smooth, because to go to stores is not an easy process. But we allow them to just download the APK and the IPA files, and then you can create an account into your name, like from the store's developer account, from Google Play and App Store, and then you can upload there. So we try to make it as easy as possible. For now, you can just get the files certified and ready for publication, and you just have to follow the steps of the store later.
Yep. Wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. And what's the typical, I know like, you know, publishing an app to the Apple Store can be troublesome in any case. What's the typical sort of, do they have to review it and then they can publish it?
Yes, I mean, this is something that obviously we don't control. Is based on Apple and Google guidelines. So we invite you guys to definitely check and see what you can do, what you cannot do, and what Apple will allow to accept before, because there is like a period of time that usually Apple could take from a week and longer. And Android is a bit faster, but still you need the time for review the app, that everything is okay, and then it goes live.
Yeah, that's awesome. Amazing. I think we have another question from Victor. I'll just see if he wants to come up and ask the question on screen. Nope, looks like I can. It's all right, I can ask the question. How far along are you in your ideal vision for Bravo Studio? It's a great question. What's the end goal? What's the future?
For now, we are focused on mobile apps, definitely. So we want to do this process as much as possible and add the functionalities that people is asking, because a lot of times it's like, do you have a e-commerce support? No, we don't, but maybe with some APIs you can have something. And again, like I mentioned, like no code revolution is great, and you can be creative and use other parties. But we are going to try to be feeding all these requests, and obviously think about that to make all this process as easy as possible. Now we have the tags, but ideally this should be like much easier to implement as well. Because we would like that the Figma design stays like the Figma design, because you can reuse for other things, for sharing to developers in case that you don't want to use, and deploy an app. You can just use it for prototype and testing, and just sharing how you want to imagine to have the app to the developers. And this is why focus on happy that people can deploy apps as faster as possible. And with more animations, with more like native components with it as much as possible.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did I miss something? Is it only apps, or could you push to the web as well?
No, exactly. So now we are focused on apps. Even like what we want to try to do is maybe to go also like to iPad, for example, or even like investigate watches. So just to think about the areas that you are not that there is not too many tools. Webs for now, Webflow is amazing. And for now, so we are focused more on mobile because it's more trendy, mobile first, and definitely now after all this new normal, definitely a lot of business, they have come to us just to have an app. For example, I showed a bakery, but here in Barcelona we have another bakery that is Yellow Bakery. I think they are Australian as well. So for them, it's like super benefit to have an app in this case.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool. And with any of the apps that you've created or you've seen created, like I know when we initially spoke the other day, you talked about, these cafes and restaurants that are creating in this new normal environment. Has anybody, is there any features like ordering or anything like that? Is that doable?
Yeah, this is why we did it more or less the same way as I show, with the type form that you can order, with a bit more complex things that you have logic jams in type form, hidden fields. Again, another tool that is amazing to check on. And also we have some film festivals that also they are like, having some problems with the events and they want to move to be like more digital. And yeah, right now the ordering, it's the most thing because they are like stuck at home, they cannot sell, and it's easy for them to just have an app and then start driving the deliveries.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so cool. I want to dive in there and start just making an app. I just wanted to make an app, I'm sure.
Welcome.
I'm sure there's a few others that will think the same, and I can see it's so powerful just for doing some user testing. I think that's going to be great. I think we'll see some of my colleagues and people just using that for getting it into the hands of people and running some tests. So that's great.
Yeah, a good thing that also you can test, for example, the API, just to see that if it's correct, if you get all the points correctly, just if you are in the development process of some app. So the developers can help as well on this process and can get some benefits into it.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, well, thank you so much. I think
cool.
I don't think there's any more questions. I think we'll leave it there. I'm sure some others will come through via Twitter and as people start to dive in and explore the software. Amazing.
Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you all of you to listen. It's super great.
Excellent. All right.
Okay. Well, thank you.
See you.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Wow, that was awesome. All right, I'll just go ahead and share my screen here. Cool. Wow, that was just so cool. I really want to dive in and start playing with that. That's so cool. I think I guess we've ended the debate. Should designers code? I think it's all over. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so thanks everyone for tuning in. You can go and watch any of our previous talks at designops.lol. There's interviews on there, plenty of resources about DesignOps. You can see all the other cool previous talks. You can follow us on Instagram or on Twitter. And you can also join our Slack community. So we've got 600 or so people in the Slack community. So come and join us and continue the conversation in there. Amazing. Thanks everyone for coming. That's it tonight. Have a great night and we'll see you next time.